Penicillin is our number one choice for common conditions like pneumonia, some sorts of bacterial meningitis, endocarditis, serious infection of the heart valves, and even diseases such as syphilis, of which we're seeing increases recently amongst HIV-positive gay men. So this is a pretty important problem that we're facing here. I mean, yes, there are alternatives for some of those conditions, but not all. And those alternatives, the reason why penicillin is the number one choice is because it's just so safe and because it really kills the pathogens without harming many of the good bacteria that we have in our bodies, whereas many of the other broader spectrum antibiotics, the reason we prefer not to use them unless we have to, is because they can have more side effects. So this announcement is of great concern to infectious disease physicians like me. We're not at a point where patients are going to die because of lack of penicillin. We certainly hope not. But I think the question is, this drug's been around 70 years. It's not a new, fancy new agent. Why have we run out in the first place? And I think, if the fact that there is a shortage, when do we know about the shortage? Well, we got our notice last Friday, and I think certainly in Victoria, the Victorian Health Department only found out yesterday. So I think if the issues are, it would have been good to have more warning so that we could have planned for this a lot better.
I've heard this morning one of the reasons being touted is natural disasters. Do you believe the fact that there have been a lot of natural disasters around the globe recently could have led to this, or are you a bit suspicious of that argument?
Well, I think CSL need to show us the data to support that, because this is penicillin, right? Penicillin does not have a patent, and it's readily available in every other country. I've just come back from the US last week. There's no problems there. It seems like the only problems here in Australia. So I'm personally doubtful about that, but if that's the reason. But nevertheless, that's been stated that these things happen all the time. Disasters are happening all the time. This is about planning and good management of a crucial product. And so I really don't buy that argument, no. The concern for, infectious disease specialists like myself is that by now needing to use these broader spectrum agents, that the risk of superbugs is going to increase. Some of the drugs we would normally choose as the next step instead of penicillin have been associated with the emergence of some of these superbugs such as VRE and golden staph and so forth. So for the last decade or more, various governments and specialists like myself have been encouraging young doctors to not use these fancy new broad spectrum drugs unnecessarily and instead use the reliable drugs like penicillin. And now, of course, we're having to kind of go back on what all the standard teaching is